This is going to be a short video. I was curious about the Curiosity, how it landed on Mars, and there's discrepancy about it. But I started to look at the picture, and I didn't really care about the discrepancy about the Curiosity and its landing. Apparently, it landed here. Now, that's in dead center of, let's zoom into it. Just for practicality, I'll describe it. What the argument is that the lander, right, he left tracks on this side, but as you can clearly see, the vehicle is right dead center. And if we can zoom even closer, you can see the burn spots are quite a ways away from the actual lander. Now, their argument is that the lander actually is over here and it's moving off the platform where it landed onto the ground. But I started looking at the picture and I started seeing structure. I mean, there is structure everywhere, and it's not prevalent in this picture. You have to manipulate the picture in a negative way. I'll show you what I mean. And this becomes apparent once you see it. I'm going to go ahead and change the option here, and I'm going to go negative. And what you're going to see is like tunnels, a little city, basically. Now we get the full picture of Mars landing right here, the lander. Now if you go over here, where is that? I wanted to show you all. Here it is. This, when you undo the negative, right here, it just shows a depression, and it's like, it doesn't show very much. But when you hit the negative, it becomes more prevalent. Like there's a beam, it's got a head right here, like a mouth, and it's got like paws or a hand, and it's holding something right here. And this is like its shell. It's really weird. What's more weird of these photographs, Mars is alive. There are little tiny people. I've seen the pictures. It's kind of grainy, but this is really spectacular because once you zoom in, and this is a high resolution picture directly from NASA themselves, you can see their structure. There's like little tunnels. It's like a spider's web on Mars, but when you hit the and go on negative, you see them, but it's not, it's crisscross here, little patches here. You don't see it as prevalent when you hit negative, because when you invert the image to negative, it becomes more obvious what's going on here, and this is spectacular. It's hard to explain, but as you can see there, and if you go even deeper, you get to see more structure. Where was I talking about tunnels? Well, one can conclude that's what they are. Just by looking at this, it looks like a spider's web. But basically these are like little tunnels right here. Let's try to get in closer. As you can see, the spider's web becomes obvious. These are like little, you could call them tunnels, little roads, but they're inside the Martian picture. But when you hit invert the image, you can see the structure here, like little houses. It's hard to imagine, but it's like a whole new world is being opened up, and it's just this whole picture, just this one picture, is filled with little tunnels. It's like a spider's web of immense activity. Here's one going all the way here. No, we can't zoom that, you know, it ruins the image, but you get what I'm saying. So NASA's been just not telling the truth. You could say that could be an alien head, but it's, oh, yeah. I don't know. But obviously this is a road. This is some kind of transportation system. I think that's what this whole thing is, because when you see spider web, like, it could just be a transportation for the little people on Mars. You know, the structure here, those, it's like a spider's web, basically. Little, I think they're tunnels, but when we go and undo it again, you'll see what I'm saying. They're like little roads here and there, but they're underground, and you can just see the surface of the tunnel here and here. It's just amazing what you can manipulate a photograph, and you can see basically what's hidden on the surface of Mars. So it looks like cracks. It looks like, not very interesting. So if we hit invert image again, you can definitely see the structure here. There's like tunnels everywhere. It's like a bigger picture. It's hard to imagine, but this was like a bigger structure here. Or that's an image I was showing you earlier. But anyway, you get the idea. Lots of activity, lots of tunnels. Let's zoom out, and you can see it just goes on and on and on and on. A little tiny, it's like a spider's web. But basically, these are obviously transportation. It could be transportation. It could be tunnels. But it's under the ground, and here's like right here, this little area. If you can see that, like a round tube like thing, even goes deeper. You can see inside the ground here, and this is like another tunnel. The image just tells a story upon itself. It reveals so much, and here you can see the craters and rocks and at a very high altitude. But most of the image, you can see structure, like a spider's web. I guess the analogy would be, it'd be like a city, like if you look at Earth at nighttime, you can see activity and stuff like that. So just imagine this is some kind of circular, it could be where they live. Little tiny holes. Let's try to get in there deeper. As you can see, there's like a round thing here, and it's like little holes everywhere. So there's structure, there's activity. I believe there are little Martians, but I did see pictures of little tiny people. It's they could be downsized. Before we came around, there was the dinosaurs, so one can conclude nature never, when nature decides to do something, she doesn't do it twice. In other words, in place of the dinosaurs, we came around, but it took a long, long, long time. So maybe the similar thing happened on Mars, where they were about our size, and maybe they downsized, small alien little creatures. That's the only thing I can come up with. It's just amazing, these photographs. They're not hiding it. It's pretty obvious. Anybody can fool around with these pictures and see lots of structure, lots of I don't know, it's just like a maze through these photographs. It just shows a lot of activity here. It's like a little community, basically. And it just branches out like a spider's web. Like, it's organized, because see, this is top section, and it comes down, and you have another tunnel here. It's basically like a spider's web. Little tunnels, or it's hard to imagine what they are. it's a transportation system. Maybe that's how they live and work be below the surface. Um, okay, back to this again. Sorry, I had to take a phone call. It's just really, really like a spider's web. You can see all kinds of structure. Um, it's just like a little city down there. Everything's connected. I mean, this is my opinion. You be the judge. You decide. But it looks like a city to me. Here down here you have a little more little tunnels or roads, whatever you want to call it. They're alive. They're down there. You know, I have seen little people, but it's kind of fuzzy and you just don't really know for sure. But in this area alone, it's exposed. You can see like, let's do this. Like little round things, holes where they come out of the ground to sun themselves. I don't know. It's a big community down there. It's so whether they're still there alive, it's hard to say. But certainly Mars is alive, and from these photographs, it just looks like little huts, little buildings, structure. Maybe these are little tunnels, little, caves. And over here you can see a circular motion, like little tiny, like I said, spiderweb. Here you see another one connecting to a major hub or tube-like. Here, let's get in there and I'll show you. Here's the tube, and these would be the connection tunnels. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. This is like a hub, and here's one way, like a freeway would be. Here's one hub, here's another one that connects to this one that goes this way. So it's a little transportation system, whether they walk or take some kind of vehicles, but definitely it's some kind of transportation system. And you can see it all over here. It is just amazing. The clarity once you invert the image. Like again, here's little holes. They could be tunnels. It's just everywhere, and I just thought I'd share with you. But as you see, if further away you go, you don't see as much. But when you come back to this one little area, and I'll zoom out so everyone can see it, you see there's more activity in just this area right here. And if you go up further, it's even more activity. I mean, the tunnels get thicker and thicker, and it's like a spider's web. Everywhere you see all kinds of little tunnels or roadways or something. And it's, like I said, the whole picture is, here is the original photograph. I don't want to lose my place. This is the original, and this is when I've done inverted it, so everyone can see. See, here they are right here. If you look, it's the same thing. This is from NASA, and it looks like little roadways here, but it's more prevalent because you can see that instead of roadways, more like little tunnels under the ground. It's just, and this little figure, like I said, it looks like a ancient creature of some kind, but it definitely has a paw, a hand, and here's another hand, and this is like maybe a basket, and this could be his shell, the way it looks. But definitely, this whole area is just filled with like a spider's web of activity. Maybe at one time, maybe they're still there. It's really hard to say. Mars is not dead, not by any stretch of the imagination, and I thought I would share this with you. And the more deeper you go, you can tell there's little holes there that could be adjacent tunnels, or it's really just interesting to see what you could do with a photograph, just inverting it. And you can just see lots of activity. There's just amazement of these little tunnels. But see, this is what I was saying earlier. This could be an exposed part of a opening of Mars. Like maybe it looks deeper into the rock, and then here's the structure of the tunnels themselves, and they would be covered up because you know if you have tunnels, you're not gonna be exposed to the top soil. So these would be underground, and these are what the spider's web would look like. The tunneling system. It's just everywhere, and I thought I would share this with everyone. And as you get away from that one little area over here, you see it's just basically rocks and craters and so forth. But once you get into this area up here, it's just everywhere. And I thought I would do my best and show everybody what Mars looked like. If you invert, sometimes if you invert these pictures, you'll see a lot more detail than if you didn't. So here it is again. I'm going to, and there you are. See, on the surface, it doesn't look like tunnels. It's just like roadways, little hints of it here. But definitely when you invert it, it shows a lot more detail. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Dan from Hidden Objects in NASA Images. This is for May 7th. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up or comment. I'll be doing more of these videos in the days come. Thank you very much for watching my videos.